Hey there nerds, Jimmy Palmquist here with a little drive time movie review, and today we're going to talk about Hotel Transylvania 2. Now, I had the pleasure of seeing this with my 6-year-old daughter. Nice little father-daughter date. It was a great movie. I really enjoyed the first one. I actually think the second one was better. I'm a big fan. I'm going to butcher his name. I know that. I apologize. But I'm a big fan of Genndy Tartakovsky, who has done some amazing things with animation. And to be honest, this is sort of like his most traditional animation he's done, these two movies. But he did Samurai Jack, Powerpuff Girls, Dexter's Laboratory, and most importantly to me, he did some of the coolest animation for Star Wars, The Clone Wars. The little 15-minute shorts animations, they were fantastic. Adam Sandler's back, writing the script. We have Andy Samberg is back, David Spade, Kevin James. Just the whole cast and crew from the original is back. And then we have some additions. It was a cool story. We get right into it with Mavis, who's once again Selena Gomez, who marries Andy Samberg's character. And they get right into it. They marry it. We have the funny kind of Drac is in the background. Oh man, I don't want to marry this kid, whatever, and protecting his daughter. But that's very toned down. There's some little jokes here and there, but it's toned down because that was the first movie. We've already been there, done that. No big deal. The basis of this movie is that we have a child now, and Drac has a grandson, and it's this cool sort of societal issue in that Drac really wants him to be a monster, but they're not sure whether he's going to be a monster or a human. And he's really steering him to be a monster, doing everything he can to make him a monster. And it's one of those things where the point of the movie is, let the person be who they are. And I think as a father myself, I can't speak to being a grandfather, but as a father myself, you run into that you want something for your child, you want your child to do something, and there's always the possibility where they say, I don't want to do that, or I don't like that, or that's not who I am. And you're just kind of like, oh, okay, interesting. So we have scenarios where Drac and the gang are going about doing sort of this road trip to try and get the grandson to be a monster. And it's funny because I think everybody else, the Invisible Man, the Frankenstein's monster, as he explains again, Steve Buscemi, who's the Wolfman, they've come to realize that the world's different and there isn't sort of this clear-cut monsters versus humans, and it's okay to intermingle. And we see that again in this movie. Like Frankenstein is tasked with going out and scaring these girls in this park, and he goes out, and they're like, oh my god, can I have your autograph? And he's totally cool with, oh yeah, sure, cool, here you go. And it's just funny how we see more of that, and Drac's really the only one who doesn't get it and doesn't understand that it's not the way it used to be. And we think that's bad until we meet Drac's dad, Vlad. And then it gets really funny. Vlad is played by Mel Brooks. And it's funny to see the interaction between father and son in that respect, and that Vlad was sort of this old school, I'm going to teach you the ways, I'm going to do it the hard way, like pushing you off a cliff to make you learn how to fly. And the world's changed. Things don't do it that way anymore. And you really get to see a juxtaposition of Mavis, who kind of goes to the real world to see what it's like to be a human, and we have Drac, who's trying to get this human boy to be a monster. We also get to meet Andy Samberg's parents, which is really cool. Megan Mullally and Ron Swanson himself, which is really cool because they're married in real life. And he doesn't have many lines, but it's cool just to have him there. Megan Mullally speaks a lot more. And it's cool to see them interact and his family interact, especially when they came to Transylvania to be at the wedding, and we're their kind of perspective because we're the humans and we see how they react to the monsters. But by the end, it's really cool because there's a real give and take, and they realize we're all the same. Really have the same insecurities and that sort of thing. I really enjoyed this movie. I know the kids are going to take away something way different than the adults, I think the adults will be entertained and see, yeah, you know, I go through that. That's interesting. Sort of, should I push my kid to do that or not? And I think the kids, like my 6-year-old daughter, loved it. The only thing I wasn't a big fan of is we saw it in 3D. It seems like all preview screenings are 3Ds nowadays, and it's not my thing, but it's all right. It was not bad. It was just bad that from a kid's point of view, flicking the glasses on and off, and I'm sure she had a massive headache by the end. But be that as it may, don't have to see it in 3D if you don't want to. I thoroughly enjoyed this movie. Highly recommend it. Going to give it 5 out of 5 nerd skulls. Great fun for adults, family, anybody who wants to go see it. Go check it out. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below.